What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Jarrell Big Baby Miller. For those who don't know, Jarrell Big Baby Miller states that he has a NFL contract, and in the article, in his tweet, rather, he came off like Morpheus, you know what I mean? Like, what if I told you I have an NFL contract? And it's like, he states that he has a contract. He states that, it's more than the offer that he's getting for the Joshua fight. He could leave the sport of boxing and go play American football in the NFL. And then he won't have to give any of the promoters anything. He's tired of the, promoters taking money when they haven't received a single punch. And that has to be geared towards Eddie Hearn, and I think that's his, lash out at Eddie Hearn, and other promoters, because he did plural, he did make it plural, but, I think that maybe boxing has left a bad taste in his mouth somewhere down the line, with the promotions and with the promoters, and, lately Eddie Hearn has been criticized. He's been criticized by, new media, LDBC, and boxers really have started a trend on Eddie Hearn lowballing offers, right? And Jarrell Big Baby Miller, supposedly is no exception, but for Jarrell Big Baby Miller, I know he's a loudmouth. I know he talks a lot. But I don't see him coming out with the offer to play on the NFL if he wasn't trying to use it as a bargaining chip. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that he just, oh, hey, by the way, world, I have a contract with NFL, so I have an opportunity to go there. You know what I mean? Why would you say that? I think the only reason he said that was for a bargaining chip. He wants more money for the Anthony Joshua sweepstakes because he feels he's worth more. Like all these fighters all of a sudden feel that they're worth more money than they've ever got. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, you give me 5, I know you can give me 7. If you give me 7, I know you can give me 9. You know what I mean? I want something, I want big bucks to fight Anthony Joshua because we know that he makes a lot of money. That's the only reason they're doing that shit, to my knowledge, you know what I mean? That's the only thing that I can gather, because if he had an opportunity for the NFL, and he was actually seriously going to take it, he wouldn't say that right now. I don't see anyone with, if he's smart, because I wouldn't. If I had an opportunity to go to the NFL, okay, and I have an offer on the table to fight for the heavyweight championship of the world, or should I say championships of the world, right? I wouldn't say anything just yet. I would weigh my options. I'd wait for the final offer, because there's already been 2 offers, right? To Team Miller. So I would wait, unless this is the last one. Unless they want to give Dillian White $7-8 million. Which, me personally, I don't see what the big deal is about Dillian White or Jarrell Miller. You know what I mean? And it's all stupid to me. Dillian White has no belt. We all know. Jarrell Miller has no belt. He just has an undefeated record. So if he's talking about going to the NFL and he's really serious about that and letting the cat out of the bag, it just shows me that from a boxing standpoint, he has no loyalty to boxing. And if that's the case, he should have been playing professional football before he even picked up some gloves, honestly. Unless he wants to be like a Bo Jackson type cat. You know what I mean? Jack of all trades, master of none. Joe Jackson was a bad cat, though, so I can't put him in the bag of Joe Jackson. I mean, Bo Jackson. Not Joe Jackson. Let me rephrase that. So, no, I think Jarrell Miller just let that out. just to let everyone know that he has options, and he's threatening to do something else if he doesn't get the money that he wants, because he knows that a lot's on the line with AJ, with his marketability and with his next fight. And DAZN, is putting a lot of pressure, and especially Matchroom. These guys are putting a lot of pressure on Eddie Hearn to make a fight, and as long as they know they can drag that shit out, they're going to do so, because they know where they are, and that's really Eddie's fault. You have to blame Eddie at the end of the day, because Eddie Hearn, you don't narrow it down to 2 fighters. And I keep telling people this, you don't narrow it down to Dillian White, which he's a good fighter. He has no belt. Or Jarrell Miller, some loose cannon that the only thing he has is a big mouth and an undefeated record. And he doesn't necessarily like Anthony Joshua. So these guys, they know and they look and they see what other people's offers are, and then they kind of make their decision or base their or their desire for their offer off someone else. And that's shitty. What would get you into the ring with a fighter? Then another question would be, what would get you in the ring with an elite fighter? You know what I mean? Try to use the most conservative. Don't try to go I need $12 million because you gave Deontay Wilder $12 million. I want $12 million. You know what I mean? Dillian White, you gave Charles Martin $8 million, so now I want $8 million. That doesn't work that way. Respect yourself. You know what I mean? So they need to respect themselves and their own accountability, and their own marketability. But Jarrell Miller, that's crazy news, though, to see him going to the NFL. I wonder how many cheeseburgers he can slaughter down being a football player now, He'd probably get 20 pounds heavy just because he can. I see him being a defensive back or something like that, But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about Jarrell Big Baby Miller, his opportunity for the NFL. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.